Hi, this is Daniel. I'm going to be talking about TypeScript today. As you can see here from the website, TypeScript is a type superset of JavaScript that compiles to plain JavaScript. And it's useful if you require strictness when it comes to types, and also has a few useful added features to JavaScript, such as classes, interfaces, among other things. And to download it, you would need Node installed to use Node Package Manager, and you can install it globally with TypeScript as its own package. And we can see here that there's also a compile script, tsc hello world.ts. We will see how we use that later. But also to note that it is included in Visual Studio and other programs as well. I'm using Visual Studio Code as my editor here, and I have a skeletal project, to say the least. Here's an HTML, I have a title, albums, a script, which we will put the script, album info.js, which does not exist yet, and we do have an album info.ts file. And of course, like I said, TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript, so we're going to need to compile, which, spoiler alert, I'll just go ahead and tell you that's what this is for. What I'm going to be making is as a music fan, I'm going to make a something that displays the info on, a particular album. I'm not really going to make it anything too fancy, just going to write information myself, but I will use TypeScript and classes to have the information organized and displayed nicely. And what I'm going to start with is I'm going to make a class. Now, a class is sort of like a schema. Here's the syntax for it. You declare the name, and then you have to put a constructor in. Now, this constructor will be everything that the class uses. And I'm going to start by calling some things like artist, and saying it's going to be a string, title, string, and year, string, and you'll notice the red squigglies there, or sorry, year number, I'm not thinking. We'll fix that, because with that constructor we can actually, just like a function, we can do things with that. Now, this right now will not work. We have to declare whether these are public or private. And since I'm going to be using these fields outside the class, I'm going to be saying, look, I want to get this artist for this album or this title. I'm going to make them public. They are public properties. Every variant spelling of public. And in this we can put, things like, this dot something equals something using these, and the practical use of this would be putting something outside of the constructor, which is actually like the schema. This is just what builds what we would be using to build the schema up here. So I'm going to make something called listing. I'm using these terms very loosely, of course. I'm not sure if it's technically a schema. And then I'm going to say what listing is. Listing, of course, listing of this class equals, I'll go ahead and use string interpolation here. I'll just put something pretty basic. That's kind of standard. Artist, title, year. And that's cool. So basically any album I make can use these, they can have these, and they will have these. And of course, I guess I'll have to have these in order to set that equal to this. So the next thing I'll do is use this. I'm going to I will make a function. I'm going to say display album info. And what I'm going to pass into it is actually going to just be, I can call it whatever parameter I'd like, but I'm going to declare the class here, something that TypeScript is for. And, sorry, the type. I'm going to declare the type of album, which is the album class. So, it's not just going to be like a string. That's not going to work. If I pass anything in there that is not, a class which has these and makes this from those, it is not going to register. And in my function, I'll go ahead and just and I'm going to make it nice, complete sentences here. I'm going to return the album's title is album by artist. In year. There we go. And to make this all work, I will go ahead and do something with that function. I'm going to put it in my HTML document. Body inner HTML equals display album info of what? Well, let's make an album. I'm going to let album that equal new album following this class up here. I'm going to actually go by the constructors because that's what we'll be putting in here. And then this will be using things from a constructor. That's how a class works. So we actually do these down here. I'm going to, let's do Pink Floyd is the artist. And the dark side of the moon. And you'll notice the red squigglies. Why? Because it expected 3 arguments but got 2. It has to have each of these. So let's pass the third one. It is a number, so 1973, I believe. Yep. Make that pretty. My bad. There we go. And let's check it out. Oh, I think I'm missing a step because our HTML doesn't actually reference the TypeScript file at all. What do we do about that? We compile, just like it says right here. TypeScript compile is what that stands for. And that leaves TSC. Doesn't know I'm there. Hello? Okay, well, it was in my history anyways. Never watch pot. It will never boil. Wow, I butchered. Well, there we go. Hey, look at that. That's pretty nice. Well, wonder how much time I spent on this. I'm going to maybe break it up, so I'll see you in the next I'll see you in the next video or the next section.